As we have got ourselves the Red Zerg player from South Korea in the top right-hand side. This is going to be Solar. Bottom left. From the US of A, we have got Neeb in the blue. Let's see what goes down in this best of 7. Let's see if USA can cause a little bit of an upset here, perhaps. Honestly, when you look at the format, it's possible. It is possible. Neeb's playing great right now. Astrea is playing great right now. There's 2v2s. It's definitely possible, guys. It is definitely possible. We'll see if it can all start here in this little bit of PvZ. As we do have 2,000 atmospheres, pretty standard map for us to begin with at least, so get this ready to go. Just going to be seeing our probe scan around in the back, just seeing what's up. Just going to see our drones chasing in after that probe, getting some good damage onto it. And that probe does get just nudged away off around that right side, and yeah, scared out of here for the moment. Probe does get around the back of the mineral line though, nibbles up a little bit, and now the drone is there to chase that probe away once more. So yeah, a little bit of back and forth to start us out, nothing too crazy. Gonna continue to nibble and nom and try and be as annoying as possible in these early stages. And it's just going to be having our spawning pool already on the way up here as well. It's going to be finishing shortly. Drone pulled into that probe to try and aid the situation. And obviously Solar did get his hatchery on the location, so it is just this probe trying to stop mine. I'm surprised this drone has put so much commitment into stopping this probe or chasing this probe around as well. Anyways, it doesn't really matter as this is all being dealt with, and on we go into the next stage of this game. Just gonna see our few lings moving around the right hand side. We do have an extra gateway coming up the front, just going to block off on the natural there. It's just going to be stopping too much from happening. Obviously doesn't want to get too exposed. This is going to be multiple gates before tech, so multiple gates into Stargate kind of later on here. Obviously kind of makes this already somewhat interesting. I'm intrigued a little bit as to what this could potentially lead into. Honestly, it just means you got a little bit more kind of pressure potentially ready to go on the ground, so that's very nice. Do have our Stalker just nipping its way through that Overlord. Looking to take it down. Kaboom, kabang, kabop. And the Overlord dies. So Solar going to find himself supply blocked. Coming out of that though, so just needs to get that kind of fixed up. He's going to need to definitely bring these units across the map soon. He's going to have, again, a lot of adepts to support with, to support everything else with here, so adept count rising up already. And they are going to start shading across the map. Yeah, this is going to get dangerous because obviously if the Lings think they can just handle the adepts, but the Lings get knocked out by the Oracles, then you've got a bunch of adepts that are running rampage around your mineral lines and so on. So it can definitely become very tough very quickly if you aren't that little bit careful about it. So, you know, that's got to be somewhat cautious. Just to have the Queen taking a few more nibbles of damage from the adepts here, but yeah, not much going to happen yet, but it is forcing Solar into making a respectable amount of units. He's just now catching up on drones, and then as Roach Roaring finishes, I assume we stop drone production for a little while again, just to get back into a few more units and make sure that we've got some Roaches out to aid this as well. As Neeb coming around the back of the Oracle, here come the Adepts into an undefended third base, multiple drones here, free pickings. And now these Lings do get a decent surround. The Oracle's not in position to help the Adepts, but do they need the help because they're in a good position anyway? Stasis Ward at the same time, handled well by Solar, pulls away last second and should be able to stop this without too many issues bar the lost mining time. But what's actually happening with the Adepts right now? I mean, Most of them have died, but they've killed a lot of Lings off, and 3 of them still just sit here alive. Look at the resources lost massively in favor of Neeb. He is going to start working his way through even more drones here. Recalls out those few adepts. I actually love that because it just means you've got a few more units up and running to help you stay safe on the 3rd base, just in case there's a little bit too much love on the counterattack from Solar, and you just can't quite hold that off. So I love that play from Neeb. Feel like this was exactly what you're looking for early. Yeah, 10 out of 10. Love it. So far, so good. Putting himself in a great spot. Here's where we'll drop the Revelation down on the Queens, and just going to be seeing these Lings coming across. This is where these Adepts could be useful. And they do tank quite a bit for the Stalkers. The Oracle gets there, helps to turn this around. And that will be pretty much the end of that attack. So the Oracle is just going to go peeling away. Strike is finishing up. These few Oracles do go around the top right-hand side and just going to be trying to figure out where they want to go to, as they are going to zap down a couple of drones already. 3 workers are dropping. 4 or 5 workers dropping. Man, Solar's in a lot of trouble here already. Really not going well at all for him. He is having a rough time getting set up in this. It has not been a pretty situation for him for a good amount of time at this point, right? I mean, it is really not going his way at the moment. Probe comes across, is going to get that Nexus down at least, so just going to get that placed. So I'm going to get a 4th base going. I mean, Solar's not even started a 4th base himself, so again, that really kind of puts into perspective the position we're in currently, as these few Lings running back up the right-hand side, going to get chipped away at. They're going to take some damage and begin to fall. As the Oracle just drops a little Revelation down, more of these Creep Tumors being picked off, and more cleanup going down for the moment. Queens just going to be picked away at here. 1 queen in the front. This guy transfusion off just before it goes down. I mean, Neeb just has so much army supply, guys. It all comes back to how this early game panned out. Talked about it at the time. This is the effects of it haven't happened. And these roaches just can't stand up for themselves. More Stalkers are showing up. We blink forward for the Overlord, the drones. GG from Solar. USA are going to take map number 1. And Neeb going to get it done against Solar for the Americans to take the advantage in this series. Bottom left, our Blue Pros player representing the US of A. This is going to be Astrea. His team leads by a map in this best of 7. Now South Korea send out ByuN. Try and tie this up 1-1 ahead of the first 2v2 of the day. Alright guys, what we feeling, what we thinking? You guys think Astrea can get it done against ByuN? Astrea has been great lately. I feel like ByuN has been good in important situations as well, though. What am I eating? I have a butter bowl. Some rice, some sweet potatoes, some salsa, peppers, lettuce, cucumbers, piece of chicken breast on top. It's good today as well. Real good. Reaper on the way from ByuN to start us off. Yo, 117 Mercury, can we pull out the miracle? Oh please, with the 1,000 bits, thank you so much. Hell yeah, thank you so much. Where's the bit sound on the stream? Am I crazy? Wait, did I just not have? Oh my god, I've just not had donations sounds or anything on for ages. I closed it by mistake. Haha. Thank you so much for the 1,000 bits, man. I really appreciate it. Did wonder why things didn't ding earlier as well. Maybe gets trapped in scouting the Stargate. We're gonna have our adept. Gonna go on a bit of a journey out towards the center. Obviously, killing the Reaper gives you the freedom to move across the map without many issues or many concerns. And for now, that's gonna be what we're doing. Why are there only 2 players per team? It's just the format they chose this year. It allows more teams to take part, and it removes a lot of uninteresting matches between teams who are just like 2 strong players and then 1 not so strong player. They've done many years of 3 players per team. I think the biggest thing is just how, basically being able to have countries participate. You can't usually participate because they just don't have enough players. It's definitely been a growing issue for Nationwars over the years. Easier to coordinate the matches? Yeah, I mean, it'll be easy on the admin side as well, but they don't make the decision being like, oh, it'll be easier to admin, right? They make on what they genuinely believe will make the best tournament, and I don't disagree. Lighter Thief, thank you so much for converting from a Prime to a Tier 1 sub. Hell yeah. This Terran player is so good. There we go. Let's try and go for a round of applause, but I just couldn't quite get away from the Terran player so good button, apparently. Same button, just on a different setting. Ay, ay, ay. So other countries have a chance against South Korea? Well, if that was true, South Korea would have dominated this event in the history of Nationwars, but that's not really been the case, so... 3 have run 3 times out of 6 Nationwars. I don't know. I don't think... And it's been very close in a lot of those finals as well. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, Korea always gets to the finals, but I don't think they were unbeatable in the past. Anyways, I mean, like I say, there's a whole bunch of reasons why to have it one way, why not to have it another. At the end of the day, I'm actually a big fan of this. I think it has made for a better overall show of Nationwars from start to finish so far. So, I'm down. I like it. With charge finished, Astrea, I'm playing Phoenix charge lot. It's very difficult to attack into this. There's just so much swarming power from Astrea that if ByuN attacks in, he could run into a lot of trouble very quickly. So he needs to be very careful about picking his upcoming fights. Or else he might just end up in a fight he can't really get out of easily. The Phoenix are great at chasing down medevacs and stuff as well, of course, so definitely a problem. Oh my god, what happened? Hang on, guys. Sorry. Apparently I didn't deselect the thing on XSplit when I just fixed that thing a moment ago. And obviously sometimes then I press a hotkey that apparently max screen stuff. There we go. Fix it. Just in case you weren't aware, you're watching WardiTV. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yeah, a bit of an oracle here. It's a nice lock on from ByuN. And Astrea's been the one kind of looking around trying to find something, but hasn't really found a way in. And ByuN's just going to get up to his third base. Astrea's got a good work account though. And he's got a pretty good army too. I'm not loving it at the moment for... Yeah, I'm not really loving it right now for ByuN, but we'll see where he takes it. I mean, obviously at some point he'd like to get on the map and maybe try to deal some damage, but we'll see when that is going to be. Let's see that by force. I'm just going to jump across the right-hand side. I'm just going to be seeing our units moving along over the side. I was just going to see if Phoenix is going to get caught there, though. This is where the Zealots, I think, can do well, because this isn't a lot of ByuN's army. And this is where ByuN needs the reinforcements to show up right now. Obviously, kiting backwards, you can stay out of the way of the Zealots. As you can also stay away from the Archons, and that means ByuN does get some good trades there. Oh, lag spike. Oh, whoop. What's my ping? 474. It's dropping. Okay, it's not me. I don't think it's me, guys. I think we're okay. Oh, a few Widow Mines left behind here. Actually, going to get a Zealot or two, but then going to have to try and get those Widow Mines out alive. He's going to lose at least one of them. That's going to save the others. He's actually pushing forward. Has some ghosts in the army. I'm a bit worried before the Disruptors really come into good numbers. This army of Astrea can really melt to a couple of good EMPs, so Astrea going to have to be very careful right now as, oh, ByuN, I think moved too far back there. Like, he left some of his units behind, but he spent way too long retreating. Oh my god, the Disruptor shot hits as well. Astrea doing great so far. Fire Force coming back over the right-hand side. Just going to see a couple of Zealots going down. Another probe on the left. As Fire Force continues through, just looking to try and get some more done. And just going to be seeing our forces here continue to push over. We're going to see a mass load up here from ByuN. Going to work around the left-hand side. Astrea comes pushing on forward. He's going to lift up a couple of mines. It takes the splash damage away from ByuN here, so immediately going to be in some trouble. Just going to be seeing our medevacs into the main base. So ByuN's in trouble. At least he's going to be able to try and base trade. Mass EMP's going down here. He just doesn't have the damage to actually deal with these Zealots at all, though. Astrea, well, obviously in trouble back at home himself. ByuN is actually evening out the army supply a little bit. A couple of Widow Mines spawn. Kind of needed to burrow those up if possible. Run down to the low ground. There's already Zealots and Disruptors over here to try and defend. It's not looking pretty at the moment, is it? If you're a ByuN fan or if you're a South Korea fan, ByuN does not have the numbers to survive this at all. And that's going to be GG's. Astrea takes Team USA to a 2-0 lead. Alright. Time to step it up for the boys in orange and red in the top left-hand side. ByuN and Solar are down 0-2 in this Nationwars quarterfinals. Can they bounce back? ByuN gonna proxy. Double Protoss from Astrea and Neeb. Let's see how they can do. Let's see if they've got the power with the double toss. Not ideal for 2v2, but it's not held them back so far. some sweet lip smacking. I'm glad you like to listen to me eat. I love it when I get to make you guys listen to me eat. It's beautiful, right? Astrea and Neeb have been kind of fun. I remember casting some of their 2v2s already. I've seen some we've seen some fun games with like excuse me. We've seen some fun games with them playing. One player playing the Phoenix, and then the other guy playing like a lot of Zealots and stuff, so they're just feeding the gas over. I believe Astrea has typically fed a lot of the gas to Neeb in the past for him to mass Phoenix and so on, so we'll see if that's a style they want to stick to here, if they're going to change it up a little bit. Just going to see our Reaper hopping in, and he's going to go for the probes. Looking for some damage here already. First probe, again, bopped around. Another probe is being chased, and just going to see this Reaper continue to fight. As our probes continue to get pushed back at the moment, so probes continue to take quite a lot of damage. As the probes pull around, Zealot and the Stalker coming through, this Reaper is going to go down for one probe only. Then we'll have a bunker in the natural that's just not really going to do very much at all just yet. So that just gets cancelled up. ByuN's barracks on the way back home hasn't expanded yet. And Solar goes up to 3 bases. We'll see if the ByuN's distraction can allow Solar to get there safely enough. Or if there might be some problems. Stalkers just gathering up together. There's the Twilight Council going down. Going to start up that Blink upgrade straight away. So Astrea going to start Blink. You see a second Stargate from Neeb. So I think what Astrea is going to do, he's going to get Blink started. I think he is still going to be feeding Neeb a little bit of his gas. And they're just going to be... I mean, what's happened in the past is that Astrea has had the tech set up, but not a lot of units to actually utilize. So we'll see exactly what he does. He actually puts down a robot too. So far, still teching up a little bit. I think there's a Solar showing up, and they're going to force some probes to pull. Oracle has to come in defensively here from Neeb, who is making more Oracles. We're going to go Phoenix after this with a double Stargate. Yeah, we're going to keep building Oracles, Neeb. What's the plan there? That's all harass from Solar. Doing okay, but you look at the worker counts overall, South Korea are behind at the moment, so not looking brilliant. Definitely not looking ideal. It's just going to be seeing the last link or two getting cleaned out. And here comes a Widowmine drop. Down to the bottom right-hand side, so making their way across. Engineering base, a couple of barracks, all continuing through. There's Oracles coming over. I'm just going to be seeing these Lings getting chased down. Quite a lot of damage going out on them right there. Just going to be seeing the Medevac of Widowmines back down the right-hand side, trying to get going. Trying to get some damage done as we go dropping in toward the main base, or at least this natural base, sorry. So that's going to be... Probes already pulled on the mini-map, so it doesn't look as though it's going to be an issue. Vikings across the map. Trying to defend the Oracles. Going to kill one of the 3 of them already. Now the Queen's here to help out, and I think that's another dead Oracle. Neeb sticking around a bit too long with the Oracle player. Widowmine still being dropped, still being set off. Across multiple different mineral lines, Neeb does pick up with the Phoenix. And these are going to be cleaned out. Gun supply struggling the most of all at the moment. Definitely trailing behind where he would like to be at this point. Not really sure what you do about that, though. I mean, his mine drop hasn't worked. I guess you kind of lean on Solo a little bit, who's heading into Roach Hydra. Phoenix across the left, going to run into a medevac. Couple tanks, marines are sitting out there. Going to see a few drones start to go down. Some damage being done as that Phoenix continue to join up on the left side of the map. There's one more upgrades coming in the side of ByuN as well. It's just getting that up and running. Stimpack still coming through as well. There's extra racks still on the way out for now. As you see Stalkers of Astrea gathering at the front. And rid of some creeps. Still impressed by the work count here. The Broadus feel like they're in a great shape, and with these Phoenix harassing, going to lose a lot of SCVs now as well, so a lot of those SCVs will just begin to drop. And that means that ByuN's economy once again is being really kept away from where it wants to be. ByuN has never really been allowed to really kind of take a good position in this game at all, unfortunately. But the Stalkers about to poke back in as well as these Phoenix get turned around for a few moments at least, so Phoenix will be backing it up now, turning back around to the top. Gonna go for a few of these Hydralisks. We're gonna start picking off some of them. Just gonna be seeing the Overseer just doesn't go down. Overseer just about able to survive as we got Marines still moving through the center. Hydra's tanks and all the rest of it continue to push down to the bottom right. Scary push here, supported by the siege tanks of ByuN. This is a position that is not easy to deal with. So let's see what goes down. Just going to be seeing the Viking shot there to aim for the Oracle. Doesn't quite manage to grab that. Just going to be seeing the Disruptors, two of them. Boom, gets a siege tank. Takes some hits on the Disruptors, but doesn't matter as long as it all stays alive. And as you can see, both those Disruptors are indeed alive, so they have made it. Congratulations, Disruptors, you made it to the next stage of the game. Phoenix coming across, gonna go for a couple of these queens. First queen already going down, there's the second, and again, the Phoenix finding just good damage throughout this, really doing a great job of just getting damage done repeatedly. As now we do take down this third base. Sorry, fourth base gold, so ByuN is able to get in there, take that down. Astrea and Neeb's numbers are not quite as dominant as they once were. The Phoenix doing a great job of using as much energy as possible. Really trying to just stay low on energy. If they're low on energy, they truly believe they're getting as much value as they can out of these Phoenix. And they really have been. Look at the resources lost. Solar 4.3, ByuN 3k, and Neeb 2.4 and Astrea 1.4. It's been an extremely efficient game so far out of the Americans. So Astrea's and Neeb's efficiency have been fantastic, and they are expanding quickly too. Remember that during that as well, we've also just had ByuN's economy be absolutely ruined and just nowhere near as good as anybody else's. So ByuN and Solar are trading badly. They're not mining as much. I mean, you put all of this information together, and you gotta say that it feels pretty good for Astrea and Neeb as long as they can continue to take good fights. That's my only real concern right now, is that they maybe end up in a position where taking a larger fight isn't really very possible, or like they just don't have the comp for that. As Astrea's army going up the top, unseen. Some Vipers abducted in these Tempests, but we actually need to kill them off. We killed 2 of the 3 that got abducted. Not a bad attempt. Lurker's going to burrow up here, try and attack as well. As you see Astrea's army now coming back. I mean, we said Astrea's army moved up that top side unseen. It seems like they weren't really aware of this incoming attack on the other side. The Phoenix still useful here, as they can lift up Lurkers. Man, that's some early day legacy of the Void stuff. Watching Phoenix lift up Lurkers is like a major gameplay moment. That really was kind of early legacy of the Void kind of shenanigans. It's going to be seeing, I mean, obviously Solar and ByuN are pushing themselves into a very scary place. Astrea and Neeb need to stand up strong and defend this, and it's specifically Astrea's army that's going to be the best at dealing with this. It's the largest, but he's just not been pulling it into the greatest of positions to help so far. They do not reach the first Lurker there. It took a first shot, but only the first shot. It didn't take a shot afterward, unfortunately. So we see the Phoenix trying to shut down reinforcements, trying to come in from that other side and do what they can. It's going to come through, find a siege tank. I mean, they kill off things so quickly at the moment that I mean, look at this Overlord farm. Uh-oh. Vipers as well, and Neeb's going to recognize the Vipers are there. He gets 1, he gets 2. He's going to take down both the Vipers. Drone's in trouble. The Vipers on the left side now being chased down as well. Oh dear, oh dear. We're actually fighting through. Astrea's trying to take on this army of ByuN. These tanks were deadly at first, but ByuN's going to be wiped out below 100 supply. And it's now kind of Solar versus the two Protoss players. Well, he might be okay for now because Neeb's Phoenix are out of energy. But that's really the only thing I think standing between Neeb and Astrea, just kind of coming through and, you know, killing Solar as well. I mean, Astrea's army's going to move forward, but like I say, a little scary because I feel like he doesn't have quite the support from Neeb that he would like to have at this point. Just because Neeb doesn't have, like I say, a lot of that energy available. And Neeb is built into carriers at the moment as double Protoss is looking good to take 2v2. Overlord's starting to go down. Marines trying to loop around as well. Units still coming across here from Astrea, knocking down this gold base. Swift shot goes off. Just going to deal a little bit of damage. Nothing too major though. Nothing too scary. But for the moment at least, just going to be seeing another disruptor trying to come on through. This Ling's going to escape to the top right-hand side and just try and shut down a base, but it's not happening. There's so much stacked defense here, there's just no way. And again, it looks very, very good right now for Astrea and Neeb, as it has done for a while. That's not really changed in that aspect. It's going to be seeing the Parasite bomb off on one of the Phoenix. Splashing a lot. Disruptor's trying to figure out what to hit. Chaotic fight, but you can see the Protoss supplies are way higher than anybody else's. Astrea and Neeb, my friends, are going to be up 3-0. America is getting it done here against South Korea. Oh my goodness, and I believe it. And let's see if we can close it out for Team USA. In the top left, one map will send USA to the semifinals. The blue Protoss player is Astrea. Bottom right, the red Zerg is going to be Solar from Team South Korea. I have not yet won a map here in the playoffs. Which is crazy. If they lose this, this is their worst South Korean performance in Nationwars probably ever. Probably ever. So that's obviously kind of crazy. Let's see how it goes as Hanchcast Pool comes down. Small map, aggressive map. We'll see if Solar can take advantage of that. We'll see if Astrea has a good way to get set up here. See what that plan is going to turn out to be from Astrea as well, because obviously you've got to have a plan when you play on Curious Minds. Again, they didn't veto this map. They don't have to play a ByuN on this map as well, which I suppose is also nice, all things considered. See what happens. Yep, this is on the Korean server, guys, because Astrea is in Korea, so there's just equal server on both sides. Equal server on both sides. No advantages. Everyone's playing on a level playing field this time. Probe. I'm going to move back and forth a little bit. Warp gate coming through. I was going to see that Stalker about halfway done, and there we go for the moment. Astrea's going to open Twilight Council, so there's a little bit of an idea as to what to expect out of him. Definitely a little bit of a different way to get going here. Robot facility coming up, a couple extra probes on the way out. Warp gate continuing to produce. Gonna be seeing our Valiant to Robo. No upgrade just yet. He must have just started something. I was gonna say it could be a Dark Shrine. I was like, oh, he just spent his money. What's it on? And it was a Dark Shrine. And I saw Solar play against this recently, and he was not prepared for DTs at all. Who was that against? I can't remember. Was that in Nationwars? Not completely sure who that was against, actually, but yeah, it was kind of wild, because Solar basically died to the DTs. Obviously, you don't expect that out of someone like Solar, right? So, kind of crazy as Solar is slowly sneaking this Overlord in to get the scout on the Dark Shrine. Is it going to be in time? I would imagine so. Still time for spores to build, right? And to be prepared for this as the Stalker starts to ping on the Overlord. Prism scene, first spore starts. The Dark Shrine is still not quite yet finished. Obviously, Prism's got to get across the map. Set up the warp in. And now last stops from Solar as well. So he should be okay here, but that doesn't mean that you're just defended. Obviously, there still is chances to kind of sneak in and get other damage done as these Adept shit back up top. Just going to be seeing a DT already warping in, just the one. Going to go one way, then a one to go another way. Oh, gets a creep teamer to start out with. Fun start. Some lings across the map means they're not going to be defending the DTs, but they're trying to sneak their way in to deal some damage. And now just going to find some queens out the front. There's no glare yet, so no overseers. So the detection can only be in the mineral lines typically. That's why the spores belong. Is ooh, that DT nearly went down. Oh, the DTs are still denying the creep spread, so that is nice. And it's going to be having a an extra unit. It's an observer showing up as well. It means even more creep gets pushed back, which is kind of incredible so far. Kind of impressed how much creep he's denied, right? I mean, he's killed 7 creep tumors. Which isn't exactly amazing damage for DTs, but it does slow Solar down kind of genuinely, so yeah, I'm kind of down for it. One Archon finishes morphing, the other Archon can begin to morph. And now it's an Archon drop to continue harassing here. Oh no! That's bad. Not good to lose a morphing Archon. Obviously. Really not good. It's a real shame. I mean, that's actually just expensive for Astrea. Gonna lose a lot of his potential power now. What could have been 2 Archons harassing obviously just will not be the case. So yeah, that's actually, like I say, really expensive. Rather costly. And it's just going to be seeing our extra Stalkers warping into the main. Going to be rallying up to that Overseer. And just keeping that Overseer at bay for the moment as well. Just keeping it away, keeping anything too crazy from happening. Present comes back around the bottom side. Unloads an Archon. Going to go in after some of those drones. Couple of queens coming through, and that Prism is going to be taking some additional damage as well. So Prism gets pushed back around the bottom side. As we see the, fourth base is still starting up. Lincoln +1 is finishing in from Astrea. Actually, I mean, look at supply-wise. I feel like Astrea's in a pretty good spot. Worker count's good. Army supply is pretty darn good here. Yeah, it's actually pretty neat so far when you look at it that way. Going to be having a, again, one Archon just trying to, if nothing else, restrict map control with the creep. It's actually kind of neat, because again, every time you stop that map control with the creep a little bit, it just makes it easier for the Stalkers to move around the map, right? They can get further forward and so on. Solar's just massing units. As melee finishes, I think he's about to go for a big fight, but as Archons and Disruptors are coming online, I actually don't think he's got a timing here. Like, if Solar wanted to play a more macro-focused game, he would have had more drones by now, so yeah, I feel like he's actually in a bit of trouble, because what Astrea is doing is not just massing gateway units, he's getting tech units up as well. Solar's just getting extra Banes, but like I say, right now it just feels like he's massing up units on less than an ideal worker count, and it's not like he's going to wait for +2 to finish until he goes. Again, if you're going to do that, you may as well just drone up the 4th base a bit better and then really kind of fire away. One DT here is going to get chased out. The 4 Zealots are going to head towards the main. The DT does get out alive at least, so nice to keep it up and running. Ooh, Crows of Vials. Now they hit the jackpot right there, but didn't quite find enough just yet. Just seeing that Prism. Gonna sit here and, well, I mean, at least it's units that aren't going to be able to join this fight. Disruptor shot, though. Oh, I was going to say it could be big. I was going to see Banes coming in from the other side. How is Astrea's defense looking? This 3rd base going to get ransacked. He's going to lose a ton of probes here. Disruptor shot's just not doing what they need to, but the Archon count's going to be very good coming out of this. And it is just going to be Disruptors that can be chased down. We lose a lot of probes, but we're going to get a very good army fight here as Astrea. Now Zealots drop down as well, and they can start dealing some damage. The reinforcements are mostly going to be Lings and Roaches. Zealots won't be dealt with this super easily, and yeah, he didn't get much eco damage done. Got a Queen lifted up, saved the Zealots. Soul again ready to go again. I guess Astrea will rebuild those probes fairly quickly. Replace them, and on we go. 58 to 67 workers. And Astrea's army still like it. Very Archon heavy, right? Definitely the way to be. Obviously, as +2 finishes, you're going to have to be very careful of your mineral lines because they can disappear in an instant if you're not careful. So that's going to be something to really watch out for. Astrea's gone up to 4 bases behind this, though. So that's obviously a strong position to be in as well, having access to that 4th. As we do see the Ling Bane, Roach Ravager back around. It's going to move into the center there for a few moments. The Prism going to unload a few of these Zealots. Spellcrawler already in some trouble, going to take some shots. The Banes are going to move through, and they're going to go connecting on all of these probes. 13 workers, 16 workers, and the Nexus. I mean, the Nexus is obviously a big deal. So here comes the Prism coming back up, but I mean, the big thing about this map, again, is its size. You can actually pull your entire army back to deal with a counterattack, and immediately go back on the front doorstep of your opponent. So that's what Solar is doing right now. Just gets back, defends super easily, super one-sidedly, most importantly, so he doesn't take any real damage. And then boom, straight back on the map, applying pressure, and just going to try and be scary once again as this DT is lurking, but ain't going to find much luck just yet. Spore just burrows up, just going to be seeing that Prism coming out over this side, going to unload and just going to go after that Roach, and maybe some drones, and Roach is going to continue to be in some trouble here as we lift back up. Everything from Solar getting ready to push on forward is, I mean, can he break this? 20 army supply advantage to Solar. Does Disruptor Shot, does okay, nothing major. Obviously this base doesn't have a Nexus, so you can't actually super battery this base just yet, just the regular batteries and static defense that's in play. These Disruptors are looking for some big shots onto this army. I feel like this one came in a bit late. Looking for the Banelings. He gets all of the Disruptors caught in a surround, though. That means they all go down. The army supply is starting to even out, though. A lot of these Banes are just connecting onto Archons. There's just so much tech here, and as the Stalkers blink forward, we will chase this army down. We are going to be without Disruptors. We're going to be without Disruptors, but this is looking doable at the moment. The Morphing Banelings in the front as well, so no new Banes ready to go. Astrea is on the hunt. Now, his Prism is in the bottom side of the map, so he can't reinforce this specific army very easily, but he could reinforce in the main base and at least force Solar to really respond to that and bring a lot of units over here. The Queen not target firing the Prism means the warping gets off in the main, so you're going to have to deal with this. 5th base is cancelled. Astrea is doing it right now, and it looks like Solar is going to be in some serious trouble, and Korea might just get 4-0'd in the quarterfinals of Nationwars. A huge upset, probably the upset of the tournament. Yes, Astrea and Neeb are good, but beating Korea is always a talking point. 4-0 in Korea? Yeah, that's like Marine Lord levels of Nation Wars storylines, you know? That really is. Jeez. Okay, well. Ling, Roach, Ravager, Bane continues to move around. Our Stalkers push in, and we do see Creep Tumors continuing to be denied here. I'm just going to see how Ling, Roach, Ravager coming through. Big Disruptor shot does not manage to land, however. Big group of Banes up around the top, going to take a left turn, make their way down, and just try and run by. It's not over yet. I know I did the big speech, but it was just looking good for Astrea. It's not done yet at all, but I mean, Solar, what can he do differently? Right now, he is getting Adrenal Glands. I think that goes a long way. Worker counts are still pretty comfortable on, I'd say, Astrea's side. It's really, really would be Solar who kind of needs more workers, if anything. Astrea's on a push to kind of get some damage done. That's a big blink in already, though. And we do see Disruptor Balls hitting Astrea's own Archon. Blinding Cloud coming down, making the Archons derp out of it. We have ducked in a Disruptor. As you do see, the Link counterattack is looking for this base at the same time, but the entirety of Solar's army over here is going down. Prism, unstoppable in the main base. It's going to get the warping off. That's going to be unstoppable. This army's unstoppable. America's unstoppable. And South Korea is out of Nation Wars in the quarterfinals, not winning a map in the playoffs.